The world rushes, demands, pulls. But what if 30 minutes of simple movement could unlock a profound inner shift? Many start, few persist. The true transformation isn't just physical, it's a quiet revolution within. Stay with me, because the final understanding we reach together is where the deepest power lies. Don't miss it. Mindful motion. When we first consider this path, this simple act of moving the body, running for 30 minutes each day, the mind often presents its many arguments. It speaks of being too busy, too tired, perhaps even of the weather not being quite right. These are the initial hurdles, the whispers of resistance that arise from a place accustomed to comfort, to the known. But what happens when we choose, just once, to step beyond these whispers? That first run, it might feel awkward. The breath may be shallow, the legs heavy, the rhythm uncertain. This is natural. It is the body and mind encountering a new demand, a new dialogue. We are not aiming for speed, not for distance measured against others, but for a mindful engagement with the act itself. To feel the feet meeting the earth, whether it's the pavement of a city street or a soft trail in nature. To notice the air as it enters and leaves the lungs. This initial phase is one of awakening the senses, of bringing awareness to a form of movement that can so easily become mechanical. It is about listening, truly listening, to the body's language. There might be discomfort, yes, but beneath that, there is also a nascent stirring, a sense of having initiated something. The beauty of this daily commitment, even for a seemingly short duration, is its power to cultivate presence. In those 30 minutes, we are invited to leave behind the complexities of our responsibilities, the endless stream of thoughts about past and future. The focus narrows to the immediate, the next step, the next breath. This isn't about escaping life, but about finding a space within it where we can connect more deeply with ourselves. The mind, which so often races, may begin to quieten, even if just for fleeting moments. These moments are precious. They are seeds. And as the days turn into a week, then two, a subtle shift occurs. The initial resistance lessens. The body begins to anticipate the movement, perhaps even to crave it in a gentle way. This is not about forcing, but about allowing a new pattern to establish itself. The motion becomes a form of meditation, a moving contemplation. We start to observe not just the physical sensations, but the thoughts and emotions that arise and pass like clouds in the sky. There's a particular clarity that can emerge from this sustained, rhythmic effort. It's as if the steady cadence of our steps helps to smooth out the jagged edges of our inner world. We are not just running, we are creating a space for inner observation and a gentle unfolding understanding. This mindful motion is the gateway. The consistency itself becomes a teacher. It teaches us about perseverance, about the quiet strength found in repetition. Each day we choose to show up, we are reinforcing a commitment to our own well-being, not in a grand dramatic gesture, but in a simple, sustained act. This daily ritual, however modest, begins to anchor us. It provides a point of stillness and activity around which the rest of the day can pivot. The world outside may be chaotic, but for these 30 minutes, there is a clear intention, a singular focus. This is where the true journey begins, not in the breaking of records, but in the breaking of old patterns of inertia and distraction. It is an invitation to move with awareness, and through that awareness, to rediscover a connection to the inherent wisdom of the body and the quiet strength of the spirit. The path unfolds one step, one breath at a time, in a rhythm. As we continue this daily practice, something remarkable begins to happen with our inner rhythm. It's not just the rhythm of our feet, but the cadence of our entire being starts to find a new, more harmonious tempo. The initial struggle for breath, the feeling of the heart pounding as if to escape the chest, gradually gives way to a more regulated, more efficient system. The body is an incredible instrument of adaptation. When presented with a consistent stimulus, like a daily 30-minute run, it learns, it adjusts, it becomes stronger and more resilient. This is the wisdom of nature at play within us. The heart, our central drum, learns to beat more steadily, more powerfully. Its capacity increases, not through force, but through consistent, gentle demand. It becomes more efficient at pumping blood, delivering oxygen to the working muscles, and clearing away waste products. This isn't just a physical change isolated to one organ. It has a cascading effect throughout the entire system. With improved circulation, every cell in the body benefits. There's a feeling of enhanced vitality, a subtle undercurrent of energy that wasn't there before. This isn't the frenetic, anxious energy that often comes from too much caffeine or too much stress, but a calm, sustained energy that supports us through the day. And the breath, oh, the breath is a profound teacher in this journey. Initially, we might gasp, struggling to find enough air. But as we persist, we learn to breathe more deeply, more fully. The diaphragm engages, the lungs expand, and we discover a capacity for air that we perhaps never knew we possessed. This deeper, more rhythmic breathing has a direct impact on our nervous system. It helps to shift us from a state of fight or flight, which is so prevalent in modern life, to a state of rest and digest, a state of calm alertness. Each inhalation can be an invitation for peace, each exhalation a release of tension. This cultivation of an inner rhythm extends beyond the physical. The mind too begins to find its own steady cadence. The repetitive nature of running, the constant loop of step, step, breath can be incredibly meditative. It provides a focal point, an anchor for the wandering mind. Thoughts will still come, of course. The mind is a thinking machine, but they seem to flow more gently. We become less entangled in them. We can observe them without being swept away. This detachment, this ability to witness our own mental processes without judgment, is a cornerstone of inner peace. It is in these moments of mental quietude, found amidst the physical exertion, that insights often arise. Solutions to problems, creative ideas, or simply a deeper understanding of ourselves can surface when the usual mental chatter subsides. This inner rhythm also fosters a greater sense of self-awareness. We become more attuned to the subtle signals of our body. We learn to distinguish between the discomfort of exertion and the pain of injury. We learn when to push gently and when to ease back. This intimate dialogue with our physical form is invaluable. It teaches us respect for our limits, but also courage to explore our potential. It is a dance between effort and surrender, between doing and being. And as this inner rhythm becomes more established, it starts to influence how we move through the rest of our day. There's a greater sense of composure, a feeling of being more centered, more grounded, even when faced with challenges or unexpected disruptions. The rhythm we cultivate on the run becomes a portable sanctuary, an inner resource we can tap into at any time. It's a quiet strength built from the inside out, one steady beat, one calm breath at a time. Breath unfolds. The journey of the breath during a consistent running practice is a revelation in itself. Initially, it can feel like an adversary, a limitation. We pant, we strain, we feel like we can never quite get enough air. This struggle is a sign that our current capacity is being challenged, which is precisely where growth begins. The body, in its innate intelligence, recognizes this demand for more oxygen, for more efficient exchange of gases. And so, day by day, as we show up for our 30 minutes, a subtle transformation begins in the way we breathe, not just during the run, but in all moments of our lives. The muscles involved in respiration, primarily the diaphragm and the intercostal muscles between the ribs, they strengthen. Just like any other muscle, when they are regularly exercised, they become more powerful and more efficient. A stronger diaphragm allows for deeper inhalations, drawing air further down into the lungs, where the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide is most effective. We move from shallow chest breathing, which is often a habit born of stress and sedentary living, to deeper, more abdominal breathing. This shift is profound. It's not just about getting more air, it's about the quality of that air and how it influences our entire physiology and even our state of mind. As our breathing becomes deeper and more controlled during the run, we start to find a rhythm that synchronizes with our movement. Perhaps it's 2 steps for an inhale, 2 steps for an exhale, or 3 or 4. Finding this personal rhythm is a key to unlocking endurance and comfort. It transforms the run from a breathless struggle into a flowing, almost dance-like movement. This rhythmic breathing has a calming effect on the nervous system. It activates the parasympathetic response, the body's natural relaxation mechanism, even amidst physical exertion. This is why running, once a certain level of fitness is achieved, can feel so meditative and restorative. The increased lung capacity that develops over time is another significant benefit. Our lungs become more elastic, able to take in a greater volume of air with each breath. This means that with every inhalation, we are delivering more oxygen to our bloodstream, and with every exhalation, we are more effectively expelling carbon dioxide. This improved gas exchange translates into greater energy levels, reduced fatigue, and enhanced mental clarity. When the brain receives an abundant supply of oxygen, it functions more optimally. Our ability to concentrate, to think clearly, and even our mood can be positively impacted by the simple act of breathing more efficiently. Beyond the physical mechanics, there's a deeper connection that unfolds with the breath. We begin to understand it not just as a physiological process, but as a life force, as prana or chi. We become more aware of the subtle energy that the breath carries. In many contemplative traditions, the breath is used as an anchor for meditation, a tool for cultivating presence and awareness. Through the practice of running, we can experience this directly. The focus on the breath, the conscious effort to regulate it and deepen it, becomes a form of moving meditation. It teaches us to be present in each moment, to appreciate the simple miracle of an unimpeded inhale and a complete exhale. This new relationship with our breath doesn't stay confined to the 30 minutes of running. It seeps into our daily life. We might find ourselves breathing more deeply when faced with a stressful situation, using the breath as a tool to remain calm and centered. We become more conscious of our breathing patterns throughout the day, noticing when we are holding our breath or breathing shallowly and gently correcting it. This heightened awareness and control over our breath is a powerful gift. It is a constant companion, an internal resource for balance and well-being. The breath, once a source of struggle, unfolds into a source of strength, vitality, and profound inner connection. It's a quiet teacher, always with us, inviting us to listen and learn. Silent strength. There is a particular kind of strength that is cultivated through the discipline of a daily 30-minute run. A strength that is not loud or boastful, but quiet, resilient, and deeply rooted. It begins in the muscles, of course. The legs, the core, even the arms, they all adapt to the consistent demand placed upon them. Fibers thicken, endurance builds, and movements that once felt arduous become more fluid, more manageable. This is the obvious, tangible strength that we can see and feel, the increased capacity to propel ourselves forward. But the true silent strength develops in layers, far beyond the purely physical. It's the strength of will that gets us out the door on days when motivation is low, when the bed feels too comfortable, or when the mind conjures 1,000 reasons to skip. Each time we overcome that internal resistance, we are forging a stronger resolve. This is not about being harsh with ourselves, but about honoring a commitment, about understanding that true freedom often lies on the other side of discipline. This mental fortitude, this ability to choose the path of long-term benefit over short-term ease, is a strength that permeates all areas of life. Then there is the emotional strength that running nurtures. The act of moving the body, of engaging in rhythmic effort, is a powerful way to process and release stored emotions. Stress, anxiety, frustration. These energies can become trapped within us if not given an outlet. Running provides that outlet. As the feet pound the earth and the breath deepens, there is a natural catharsis that can occur. We may not even be consciously aware of what we are releasing, but afterwards, there is often a sense of lightness, a feeling of having shed an invisible burden. This emotional resilience, the ability to navigate the ups and downs of life with greater equanimity, is a profound gift of this practice. Furthermore, a silent strength grows from the increased self-efficacy we experience. As we witness our own progress, running a little further, feeling a little less breathless, recovering a little faster, our belief in our own capabilities expands. We start to see that we are capable of growth, of change, of overcoming challenges. This newfound confidence is not arrogant. It is a quiet, steady assurance that comes from direct experience. It's the understanding that if we can consistently show up for this one act, this one commitment to ourselves, then perhaps we can also tackle other challenges in our lives with similar dedication and perseverance. This strength also manifests as an increased tolerance for discomfort. Life inevitably brings challenges, moments of difficulty, periods of unease. Running teaches us to sit with discomfort, to breathe through it, to understand that it is often temporary and can be a catalyst for growth. When we are pushing through the last few minutes of a run, feeling the burn in our muscles or the strain in our lungs, we are practicing the art of enduring, of not giving up when things get tough. This capacity to stay present and composed, even when faced with adversity, is an invaluable life skill. It's a quiet power that allows us to meet difficulties without being overwhelmed by them. Ultimately, the silent strength that running cultivates is a strength of character. It is built through consistency, through humility, through the willingness to engage in a simple practice day after day, not for external validation, but for the inner transformation it brings. It's about cultivating an inner core of stability and resilience that allows us to move through the world with greater grace and purpose. This isn't about becoming invincible, but about becoming more whole, more integrated, more capable of meeting life on its own terms, with a quiet confidence that emanates from a place of deep personal knowing. This strength whispers rather than shouts, and its power is enduring. Spirit lifts. Beyond the tangible changes in the body and the quiet strengthening of the mind, there is another dimension that is touched by the daily act of running: the spirit. It's a subtle but profound lifting, a sense of expansion and connection that can infuse our entire being. This isn't necessarily about grand spiritual awakenings, but about the quiet, consistent nurturing of our innermost self, the part of us that seeks meaning, joy, and a sense of belonging. When we run, especially if we are fortunate enough to do so in nature, there is an opportunity to connect with something larger than ourselves. The rustling of leaves, the vastness of the sky, the chirping of birds, the feeling of the wind on our skin. These simple sensory experiences can draw us out of our often self-absorbed internal narratives and into a greater awareness of the world around us. This connection to the natural world has a deeply restorative effect on the human spirit. It reminds us that we are part of a larger web of life, and this realization can bring a profound sense of peace and perspective. The act of sustained physical effort itself can also be a gateway to a heightened state of awareness. There's a point in a run, often after the initial resistance has faded and a comfortable rhythm has been established, where the mind quiets and a sense of flow takes over. In this state, there can be a feeling of effortless movement, of being carried along. Some call it the runner's high, attributed to the release of endorphins. But it can also be something more, a moment of pure presence, of being fully alive and engaged in the here and now. These moments, however fleeting, can be deeply nourishing for the spirit, offering a glimpse of joy and freedom. Moreover, the discipline involved in maintaining a daily running practice can cultivate a sense of purpose and accomplishment that lifts the spirit. In a world where we often feel pulled in many directions, unsure of our impact, this simple, consistent act provides a clear focus. Each run completed is a small victory, a testament to our commitment to our own well-being. This accumulation of small wins builds self-esteem and a sense of agency, empowering us to believe in our ability to create positive change in our lives. When we feel capable and purposeful, our spirits naturally lift. Running can also become a form of active gratitude. As we move our bodies, feeling their strength and resilience, we can cultivate an appreciation for the gift of health, for the ability to move freely. This sense of gratitude can shift our perspective from what we lack to what we have, fostering a more positive and contented outlook on life. When we approach our run not as a chore, but as an opportunity to celebrate our vitality, it becomes a joyful expression of life itself. This joy is a powerful balm for the spirit, counteracting the negativity and cynicism that can so easily creep into our minds. Finally, The solitude often found in running can provide a precious space for introspection and connection with our inner guidance. Away from the noise and demands of daily life, we can listen more closely to the whispers of our intuition, to the deeper longings of our heart. This quiet time can be a source of insight, clarity, and a renewed sense of direction. It allows us to reconnect with our values, to remember what truly matters to us. When we are aligned with our deepest truths, our spirit feels lighter, more authentic, more alive. This lifting of the spirit, this gentle blossoming of inner joy and peace, is perhaps one of the most precious and enduring gifts of a consistent running practice. It's a quiet return to ourselves. Energy flows. One of the most remarkable and perhaps counterintuitive outcomes of committing to a daily 30-minute run is the significant increase in overall energy levels. It might seem logical to assume that expending energy through physical activity would leave us feeling depleted, especially at first. And indeed, in the very early stages, there might be a temporary sense of fatigue as the body adapts. However, as consistency takes root, a new dynamic emerges. The more energy we wisely expend, the more energy we seem to generate. This phenomenon is rooted in several physiological adaptations. As our cardiovascular fitness improves, the heart becomes more efficient at pumping oxygen-rich blood to all parts of the body, including the brain and muscles. Better oxygenation means that our cells can produce energy more effectively. Mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses within our cells, actually increase in number and efficiency in response to regular endurance exercise. So we are literally building a greater capacity to produce and utilize energy at a cellular level. This isn't just about having more energy for the run itself. It translates into a sustained vitality that carries us through all our daily tasks and activities. Beyond the cellular level, running helps to regulate our metabolism. Consistent physical activity can improve insulin sensitivity, meaning our body becomes better at managing blood sugar levels. This prevents the sharp spikes and crashes in energy that can result from a diet high in processed foods or a sedentary lifestyle. With more stable blood sugar, we experience a more even and sustained release of energy throughout the day, reducing the likelihood of that dreaded mid-afternoon slump. We feel more alert, more capable, and less reliant on stimulants like caffeine to keep us going. The impact on sleep quality is another crucial factor in this energy equation. Regular physical activity, particularly aerobic exercise like running, has been shown to improve both the duration and the depth of sleep. When we sleep better, our bodies have a greater opportunity to repair and rejuvenate. We wake up feeling more rested, more refreshed, and with a greater store of energy for the day ahead. It's a virtuous cycle. Running helps us sleep better, and better sleep provides us with more energy, which in turn can make our runs feel more enjoyable and less strenuous. Furthermore, there's a psychological component to this increased energy. The sense of accomplishment and well-being that comes from regular exercise can significantly boost our mood and reduce feelings of stress and anxiety. When we are mentally and emotionally lighter, we perceive ourselves as having more energy. Stress is a notorious energy drain. By providing a healthy outlet for stress and promoting the release of mood-boosting endorphins, running helps to conserve and even generate mental and emotional energy. We approach our day with more enthusiasm, more optimism, and a greater capacity to handle challenges without feeling overwhelmed or depleted. This flow of energy is not a hyperactive, restless energy. It is a calm, steady, and sustainable vitality. It's the kind of energy that allows us to engage fully with our lives, to be present for our families, to pursue our passions, and to meet our responsibilities with vigor and clarity. It's the feeling of being truly alive and capable. This transformation from feeling chronically tired or sluggish to feeling consistently energized is one of the most empowering benefits of a daily running practice. It reminds us that our bodies are designed to move, and when we honor that design, we unlock a wellspring of natural, vibrant energy that supports a richer, more fulfilling life. The flow becomes a current that carries us forward, deepening calm, In a world that often feels overwhelmingly fast-paced, filled with constant stimuli and demands on our attention, the pursuit of inner calm can seem like an elusive dream. Yet, the simple, rhythmic act of running for 30 minutes each day can become a surprisingly potent pathway to a deeper, more abiding sense of tranquility. This isn't about escaping the world, but about cultivating an inner sanctuary, a place of stillness that we can carry with us even amidst the chaos. One of the primary ways running fosters calm is through its effect on the nervous system. As mentioned earlier, rhythmic aerobic exercise can help to shift the balance from the sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight response, to the parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest response. This shift is crucial for reducing chronic stress and anxiety. When we run, particularly at a moderate, sustained pace, our breathing deepens and becomes more regular, our heart rate settles into a steady rhythm, and our muscles engage in a repetitive, almost meditative motion. This combination of physiological signals tells the brain that it is safe to relax, to let go of hypervigilance. The release of endorphins, often associated with the runner's high, also plays a role in promoting a sense of well-being and calm. These natural mood elevators can help to alleviate feelings of anxiety and depression, leaving us with a more positive and peaceful outlook. But beyond the biochemical effects, there is a profound psychological benefit to the focused attention that running requires. For those 30 minutes, we are largely disengaged from the worries, to-do lists, and digital distractions that typically clutter our minds. This mental break, this period of unitasking, allows the mind to settle and quieten. Over time, this practice of focused attention during the run can translate into an increased ability to maintain calm and composure in other areas of life. We become more adept at noticing when our minds are racing or when we are becoming overwhelmed by stress, and we develop the capacity to gently bring ourselves back to a more centered state. The run becomes a training ground for mindfulness, teaching us to observe our thoughts and emotions without getting swept away by them, much like watching clouds drift across the sky. This detached observation is a cornerstone of emotional regulation and inner peace. Moreover, the physical exertion itself can be a powerful way to discharge pent-up stress and tension. When we feel anxious or agitated, our bodies often hold that energy. Running provides a healthy, constructive outlet for this antsy, restless energy. As we move, as we sweat, as we push ourselves, we are literally working through that stress, releasing it from our physical and energetic systems. Afterwards, there is often a palpable sense of relief, a feeling of lightness and clarity that paves the way for a deeper calm to emerge. This deepening calm is not a state of apathy or indifference. It is a state of alert, centered presence. It's the ability to meet life's challenges with a steady mind and an open heart. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing we have an inner resource, a practice that can help us navigate difficulties with greater resilience and grace. As we consistently dedicate these 30 minutes to ourselves, to this moving meditation, we are not just improving our physical fitness. We are cultivating a profound inner stillness, an oasis of calm that becomes increasingly accessible both on and off the running path. This calm is a bedrock, a foundation upon which a more peaceful and fulfilling life can be built. Enduring path. Committing to running 30 minutes every day is not merely about a short-term fix or a fleeting experiment. It is about embarking on an enduring path, a journey of continuous self-discovery and gradual transformation. The true magic of this practice lies not in immediate dramatic results, but in the cumulative effect of consistent, mindful effort over weeks, months, and even years. It becomes a thread woven into the fabric of our lives, subtly yet profoundly altering its texture and hue. The initial motivations might be physical, to lose weight, to improve cardiovascular health, to gain strength, and these benefits certainly do manifest. The body becomes a more efficient, resilient, and capable vessel. But as we persist, we often find that the reasons for continuing evolve, deepen. The run becomes less about chasing a specific outcome and more about the process itself, about the quiet dialogue it fosters between body, mind, and spirit. It becomes a sacred time, a non-negotiable appointment with ourselves. This enduring path teaches us patience. Significant changes, whether physical or internal, rarely happen overnight. There will be days when the run feels effortless and joyful, and there will be days when it feels like a struggle, when every step requires conscious effort. Learning to show up consistently, regardless of how we feel on any particular day, cultivates a deep sense of perseverance and resilience. We learn to embrace the ebb and flow, to understand that progress is not always linear, and to trust in the long-term benefits of our sustained commitment. It also teaches us humility. The path of running, like life itself, will present us with our limitations. We may encounter injuries, setbacks, or periods where progress seems to stall. These moments are valuable teachers, inviting us to listen more closely to our bodies, to adjust our approach, to practice self-compassion, and to let go of ego-driven expectations. True strength, we discover, is not about never falling, but about getting up each time with renewed wisdom and a gentle determination. As the years pass, the daily run can become a reliable anchor in a constantly changing world. It provides a sense of continuity, a familiar rhythm that grounds us amidst the inevitable uncertainties and transitions of life. It's a space where we can process experiences, gain clarity, and reconnect with our core selves. This consistent return to a simple, fundamental practice builds a profound sense of inner stability and self-reliance. We come to understand that this path is not about reaching a final destination, but about the ongoing journey of growth, awareness, and self-care. The long-term impact on our overall well-being can be immense, extending far beyond the 30 minutes spent running each day. The discipline, the mental clarity, the emotional balance, and the physical vitality cultivated through this practice ripple outwards, positively influencing our relationships, our work, and our general outlook on life. We become more present, more resilient, more compassionate, both towards ourselves and towards others. This enduring path, chosen day by day, step by step, breath by breath, becomes a testament to the power of simple, consistent action to create a life of greater depth, meaning, and quiet joy. It is a legacy of well-being we build for ourselves, one run at a time. The true journey isn't measured in miles covered or minutes passed, but in the silent, profound unfolding that occurs within. It's the quiet understanding that by consistently tending to the vessel, we also nurture the spirit, cultivating a resilience and a peace that becomes an intrinsic part of who we are. This simple act, repeated, becomes a powerful affirmation of life itself. This is so much more than just a video about running. It's a beautiful reminder of how simple, consistent actions can lead to such deep inner shifts. I've been on and off with running, but your words about the silent strength and deepening calm truly resonated. It's inspired me to approach it not as a chore, but as a moving meditation and a gift to myself. Thank you for this profound perspective.